Do you believe in accountable love? Do your thing, birthday girl.
Welcome to Accountable Love, home of the LoveSnobs, where love is a group journey. My name is Jerri.
My name's Aziz.
And today
I'm going to cut her off because we have birthday girl. Happy New Year's, Jerri.
Thank you.
I mean, this is the Happy New Year's Jerri edition.
Yeah, the quarantine edition.
Home of the Love Snobs. Love Snobs. Love Snobs. The Love Snobs have surfaced. You know, the people that actually use honesty to communicate. The genuine friends that refuse to let you feel sorry for yourself. Yes, those people.
You know, the friends that collect your tears every time life makes your eyes rain. The love snobs, the people that don't allow you to settle. Support your dreams, but don't support you sleeping with just anybody.
You know, the friends that are so judgmental, they ask you to stay away from negative people and encourage you to surround yourself with positive people.
Yes, that friend. The friends that love you even when you refuse to love yourself.
You know, the love snobs.
We're celebrating a little differently today, although we always did the morning birthday celebration, but it was quite different since we didn't really have many other options.
Yeah, we went out with a bang. I mean, we came in with a bang. You woke up, you were surprised, shed a little tears. We surprised us, so everything was good. I mean, and that led us to have this discussion regarding how much we go hard for events. Like our friend Jasmine stood up she was up all night taking care of all the arrangements, making sure the food was
my fiesta.
Definitely making sure the food was appetizing, making sure everything was aligned. And if she didn't put forth all that effort on a day-to-day basis, it's like, why can't you do all of that when it comes to a celebration versus doing that on a day-to-day basis? Because that's the work it takes to put in on a regular basis as well, right?
Well, yeah, it's the maintenance of it. So, sometimes we get caught up in these annual gestures or around the holidays because people, take out the time to maybe buy you a gift or give you a card or just acknowledge that they're thinking about you. But when you think about the day-to-day, that's where it really matters. So I know that for me, today was extra special because not only does she care about me, everyone cares about me. Everyone who had a part in my celebration today cares about me every day and put in the work every day. It made it extra special.
She getting up in age. Excuse her.
Extra special. It's only because I turned 42 before he did. He's like right around the corner.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
But anyway, it's extra special.
I'm not there yet.
It's extra special because I know that it's not just for the day. It's really just taking the time to appreciate me today, but I feel appreciated every day. So Aziz and I decided to do the podcast today because we know that it's easy to get caught up in those moments and think that, a relationship may have a shot because someone reached out and said happy birthday. Somebody reached out when you were grieving.
Definitely.
Someone reached out,
in the moments where they're trying, in the moments where it's time to celebrate, in the moments where it's a heightened experience and they creep back into your life, and then the day-to-day is some of the same.
Yeah.
They don't want to put in the work, and when you ask them to put in the work, you're nagging them. When you ask them to move forward and actually celebrate you on a day-to-day basis, it's like, that's not how it goes. I'm only human, and there's all kinds of excuses being made, but somehow one person is doing all the heavy lifting without a problem, and they're considered human as well. You know what I mean? So we are all about equal and healthy relationships. We are Accountable Love Podcast, as you know. We love snobs. We believe you put in daily work on a regular basis, and when something don't seem right, you ask questions, you start a discussion. Like we just had because we do our
Let's Talk
Relationships every Monday.
Yeah.
On Zoom. Now that it's we quarantine, everybody is in separate spaces, so we have to still reach out and build these relationships.
Well, we want to still reach out.
We want to still, excuse me, wrong choice of words. We want to still reach out. We want to celebrate relationships, and we want to have adult time. So when we was talking about it yesterday, because today's Tuesday, so it's Jerri's birthday Tuesday, and while we were on Zoom yesterday, we were talking about judgment and how a lot of people don't see judgment as a great thing, or don't see judgment as, it also can be a good thing as well, right? So when we look at it from a negative standpoint. We look at it like somebody is basically condemning us. But like when they always say you fire yourself, it's the same way in relationships. Like when the person's fed up, they fed up. So you fire yourself. When you go outside the arrangement or go outside the agreement, you fire yourself. So don't come back when it's time. Don't creep back in when it's, you know, a celebration or somebody's grieving, or, you know, it's cool, pay your respects, do that. But, you know, when you come correct. You know what I mean? Come correct, come ready to put in the work, come ready to climb that hill, because they're not going to give you the same energy they once gave you. So you remember the relationship where it was one-sided and they was carrying you. Now it's your turn to actually show that you can carry them. And once they know that you can carry them, and now they're ready to take over their end of the relationship, and then y'all carry each other or y'all walk side by side. What would you say?
I agree with that, and I think it's easy on the other end. You know, when we decide to sever our relationship with someone, we're saddened by it too, and we don't necessarily want to do it, but we believe we have to do it in order to get the relationship that we want. So when a person reaches out, it's really easy. You know, sometimes you get caught up in the, damn, I just wanted them to reach out. I just wanted them to acknowledge, you know, me or where they went wrong. And some people use opportunities like celebrations or death to kind of to use that opportunity to reach out, right?
Definitely.
So I think that, you know, the person that did take
or
the stand,
injuries,
or injuries, something,
you know, something
good,
tragic,
bad,
or
and different,
something,
yeah, or something great,
extremely great. You know what I mean? Like you got a promotion.
Yeah, so I think
posted
that
it on Facebook or
yeah,
Instagram, and everybody now hitting you up. You know, those
yeah,
things.
and people that you haven't really heard from in a while, or people that has been lingering for a while and decided to use that as an opportunity to say something. But I think on the other end, you should hold out for what you want and really acknowledge those moments and don't get caught up in them. I personally have gotten caught up in certain things like that. You know,
I mean,
you see someone who had a death in the family, and you're like, damn, so and so's mother died. Like, you know, you feel for them, and in that moment, you want them to know that you feel for them, and that's okay. But where it gets a little weird is that now, yeah, you know, the next day and the next day and the day after that, you guys are talking every day, and before you know it, you guys are in this full-blown relationship again, but nothing was addressed.
Definitely.
So it's really about taking that time. It's not about just the reaching out. It's about reaching out and taking, and if you really truly want to rebuild the relationship, acknowledge that, take the time and have the conversation.
And be accountable for where you went wrong, you know, build it from the ground up. And the main thing is we want everybody to always know, if you was the one that actually severed the relationship, meaning you was the one, not that you're the one that actually created the distance, but severed the relationship, meaning you're the one that put the strain on the relationship, then you need to have an understanding that it's your accountability. You have to, you know, be humble. You have to come correct. You have to be ready to really support that person, especially if you reaching out and reconnecting through these, you know, extreme measures or these extreme situations, because, you know, happy times bring a lot of happy feelings, which brings a lot of open doors, which brings a lot of forced relationships. At the same time, we're not talking about, and let's be clear here, we're not talking about people who showing love and reaching out. Well, we don't say showing love, showing like and reaching out, you know, just to show you some support, and y'all not really day-to-day friends. That's cool.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? That's cool.
We're talking about
we're
the
better
people
in numbers. You know, that spirit is great. But we're just talking about people who
were in the day-to-day.
Or you really wanna reach out to the person. You really want to be in that person's life again, and you use that as a time to do so. And we're like, that's not the right time to really start reaching out and really put forth that effort, because they're in a vulnerable state. So you gotta look at it like, you know, you somewhat taking advantage of the situation. Whereas, you know, in a vulnerable state, what I mean is also through the celebration. You know what I mean? It's a vulnerable state. You're in a heightened state. So you're willing to embrace a little easier. You know what I mean? So, you know, do it when it actually is hard to do. Do it when you really want to do it and you scared to pick up the phone. Do it anyway. You know what I mean? Pick up the phone, or ask, and if you want to do it in person, just ask to see the person, ask to hang out with the person, things of that nature. But, you know, I know we're talking about this, and this is, you know, a lot more serious of a topic than, you know, a person's New Year's.
No, but it still put things into perspective, and Aziz and I had a conversation offline about it, and it's really, you know, a lot of people want to celebrate, want to help you celebrate, right?
Definitely,
and
show up.
And a lot of people show up for you, which is great. You know, all the birthday love, you know, thanks again. It feels good to be acknowledged, and, you know, for someone to want to celebrate you as well. But on the same note, you know, a lot of times, like, a lot of people use that opportunity to sneak back in. And I think that that's what I know that that's what we wanted to have the podcast about and talk about that. You know, the one thing I told my dad one time when we were talking was that, you know, I know wholeheartedly that if I fall into hard times, if my dad is able to help me, he will. I know that for a fact.
Definitely.
But it's not about just I don't.
Well, how do you treat me on a day-to-day
Yeah,
basis?
I told him I don't want you to just bail me out. That's not the type of relationship I want with you.
Mm-hmm.
I want a relationship where we are in each other's day-to-day life and you support me. And if I do need the bailout, you're there to bail me out.
Definitely.
You know, there's a difference. And it took me years for me to even articulate that because I couldn't find the words to address it. I just knew that there was something about our relationship that I wasn't really feeling. And it was that, like, yeah, I know that without a shadow of a doubt, I call you, you're gonna come to my aid. I know if I ever needed a place to live, I'll have a place to live. I know if I don't have any food, you'll be able to feed me. I know all of that. But it's really about how is the relationship day to day? Is it healthy? Are you supporting me when...
How are you taking care of yourself?
Well, how you take care of yourself, but how you supporting me?
Definitely. How you take care of
yourself
yourself
on a regular basis
is gonna show how you're gonna take care of others. You know what I mean? So there are people that don't take care of themselves and actually put in the work in others, but at the same time, like, we want everything reciprocal.
Yeah.
So we're not just talking about what you need to do for us. We want you to do things for yourself. Want you to put yourself in a position to succeed. And when you reach out, you're not you're not a crutch. We're not your crutch. You're not a hindrance. Things of that nature. You're actually reaching out because you want to foster a strong relationship.
Well, we're equal in the relationship, and I think that really matters, especially when you are going through tough times, good times, or just living life in general. And I think that that's what a lot of us kind of miss things. Like, we are better in numbers, but I'd rather have 2 great friends than 50 people that I'm just kind of cool with that couldn't fill up the club when it's time to party.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I've come to that place in life where it looks good from a party perspective, but from a day-to-day perspective, that's not what I want.
You're still lonely.
Yeah, I want something
when it's time to have
yeah.
those spiritual discussions, because our spirit is what makes us joyful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a difference between being happy and being joyful. What makes us joyful is it's something that's in our stomach, it's something that's in our heart on a regular basis. And though we have hard times, we're still optimistic about what the world looks like and what the world could look like.
Yeah.
And what we deserve. You know what I mean? That's the joy that life brings. We call it passion, but it's really joy. It's just we go through life believing we deserve the best, and we're not going to stop until we get the best. So when somebody, reconnects with you, make sure you're clear on what you want. Make sure you're clear where your priorities are. Make sure you're clear if they used to be number 1 priority, they're probably number 5 now. And they got to, get in where they fit in. You might not have the time for them anymore. And that's a real discussion. You might have a discussion we have discussions every day about prioritizing and about, are you making me a priority? You know what I mean? Sometimes Jerry gets caught up in work, and I'm like, okay, you caught up in work, but you promised this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're sitting here leaving 20 minutes late just because you can do it and you believe you can do it. But when it becomes a pattern, what if it becomes a pattern? So I'm gonna address it as soon as it's done and say, yeah, I can understand today, and ask her why, whatever. She explains to me, and then we can understand today. But don't make this a habit. You know what I mean? Because your priority is making it to where you need to go, making me a priority, making Village a priority, and we go from there. Same with me. You know what I mean?
It's so, to touch on that, it's making you guys a priority because that's what I agreed to.
Definitely.
That's what I said.
Definitely.
It's not like, you want to be here, so you better make us a priority. Well, actually, everyone has a standard, so that wouldn't even be so far-fetched anyway. But the point is that we all had an agreement.
Definitely.
And the agreement was that I was going to put village first over family. So whenever that kind of when one starts to outweigh the other, then we do have an issue, and it needs to be addressed. So it's less of like, it's more of a agreement that we all had, as opposed to like, this is it or else. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it's never or else.
I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, it just starts the dialogue. It just definitely starts the dialogue. Like, what one attendees yesterday said was like, we give her a shout out, Jessica. What Jessica said yesterday was really great. She said, judgment starts a hard discussion. Mm-hmm. And that's what we believe 100%. Like, you do have to start the discussion. You feel it, doesn't mean it's so. It just means let's start the dialogue. I could have been dead wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something could have happened at work that was extreme, And, you know, I wouldn't have been a priority at that time because it was either come show up for me at that moment that I really don't need her, we just made plans, and or lose her job. You get what I'm saying? And obviously we want her to keep her job and her to be successful in everything she does. So at that time, I became a backseat priority. And I understood, once you explain that to me, if I don't understand, then yeah, I'm the one that's not putting her needs ahead of my wants. You know what I mean? So therefore, there are times where our principles clash. We got to really understand what principle supersedes the other in the moment.
Yeah.
So that's called judgment at that time. You're making a judgment call, you're making a clear understanding, clear determination. And your feelings, you feel like hurt, you feel like they didn't show up for you. But when you take a step back and look at it, they actually did show up for you by maintaining their position at work so they can maintain their lifestyle, so they can show up for you on a day-to-day going past that, you know, going past that day, going past that moment. So a moment shouldn't steal your relationship.
Well,
You
no,
just start the dialogue.
it shouldn't steal it, and it's about, to add on to what you were saying, is about consistency.
Definitely.
So, with the example of work, if I consistently am leaving work on time and being here, and then the 1 or 2 times that I need to stay back, we can talk about it, but we are, you know, it's not this big ordeal.
Definitely.
But if I consistently put work ahead of everyone else, then it's a problem.
Definitely.
So,
I mean, when it becomes a pattern, when your track record, even if it's for something you believe you can think it's done.
Yeah.
The point is, if you have a track record of doing it,
then it's an
obviously
issue, yeah.
it becomes a greater thing. So, you know, just really look at your relationship, celebrate people to the fullest, show up for people to the fullest, but that's not this time to really start a strong, healthy relationship. You know what I mean? Tell them that you want to talk to them, tell them you miss them, and then see what happens going forward. But don't reach out and look at that as an opportunity to now get in.
Also, too, I think,
put in the work.
Yeah, put in the work, and I also think that this is a time to kind of put your friendships in categories.
Definitely.
You know, because how could you really maintain 10 friends? It's really difficult. So
Definitely.
It's like having multiple children. It's like having 5 jobs. It's like anything that you have that's that's going to take a lot of your time. It's hard to maintain. It's hard to give the same level of energy and all that stuff. So I think, you know, use this time as well to really just categorize your friends. Think of all the people that you call a friend, and think about what tier do they belong in, and then have those conversations, because I think that's really important as well. And then you maybe could free up time to really celebrate the people that really matter, and give a shout out to somebody that you care about or you think about from time to time, a shout out on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just that simple. And I think that if we did that, then we could put more into the people that really that you say really matter.
Because I think you made a good point. You know, don't lose your great friends trying to keep an average friend.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
An average person that you have in their life. You know what I mean? I see a lot of people challenge the people who are very solid in their lives because because they actually want to actually spend time with another person outside of that. And you really can't take the great friends for granted because they're your foundation. Mm-hmm. And the reality is, we all think we can stand alone, but without the ground, you know what I mean, it's gonna be harder to stand. Mm-hmm. So you gotta understand, when they're your foundation, make sure your foundation is on point first before you add anybody to your home. You know what I'm saying? Because that's very important. But you know, today we celebrating Jerri. What's your plans? What's the things, you know, your New Year's resolution?
So my New
Year's,
Year's,
how we look at it. You know,
it's a new year. Yeah. So my New Year's resolution is to really not allow fear to dictate my purpose, and really just live. I wouldn't say in the moment. Everything is obviously thought out and is a plan, but to not allow something that I can't see or something that I am fearful of doing to hold me back from being my greatest self.
Definitely.
I think that that's something I've always struggled with. I navigate well in that space, and because I was able to get everything I needed and wanted from being out of fear, it seemed to turn out okay, but it really wasn't
more
okay.
Reactive than proactive.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I want to be more proactive in my life, and I want to be able to move forward even if I don't see the road ahead of me. Mm-hmm. Because I think that that's something that I've always really struggled with, and it's never really been an issue before until now. I'm working on, you know, our baby, Love is a Group Journey, and it requires you to have a certain level, not even just a certain level of faith in general.
Definitely.
And I realized that I have
others,
certain deficiencies that I never really dealt with because I've been so reactive my whole entire life. So I think that And if someone looked at it, I turned out okay, right?
Definitely.
But I don't just want to be okay. I want to be great. And I think that, I'm not going to say I think, I keep saying I think. I know that this year at 42,
Be certain.
I want to be able to move past my fears and be the greatest example of myself. And so that's my New Year's resolution.
Definitely. So, it's been great. We had this discussion.
We've
been quarantined.
Yeah, we've been moving with the times. Well, actually, we've been using Zoom. We've always been using Zoom, but now, we've been using Zoom more than ever to connect with people like everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
But we decided to get back to our camera bag and pull things out
Definitely.
to make it happen.
Because we want people to have the information. We had a greater discussion earlier.
Yeah.
And obviously it doesn't translate.
It doesn't always translate over,
all the time. Sometimes we're more brilliant on camera than we are off camera. So it happens, but we want to still keep y'all engaged. We want to have discussions. And we want to, keep working towards it being accountable and love. Like we work towards it every day. We want people to work towards it every day because we got to remember, love is a group journey.
Yeah, so check us out every Monday at 9 p.m. We're talking, let's talk relationships. If you have any suggestions on topics that you want us to cover, email us or inbox us. Register. Our link is in the bio. The link for our Zoom meeting is in the bio. So as soon as you register, you'll get an email alert a day prior, and an hour prior to our go live time. Mm-hmm. We are still putting out. We're going to put out podcasts periodically.
Definitely.
We still blogging. We're still putting out inspirational quotes. We're still available. So if you need to get in touch with us, you can get in touch with us at AccountableLove@gmail.com. 1C. You can also inbox us on Instagram. You can inbox us on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. You can check the LoveSnobs out on YouTube.
Definitely. Or you can just go to Love is a Group Journey at gmail.com.
Yes.
And you can reach out to us as well there because, we have relationship building services. So we have relationships for friends. We have relationships for couples. We have relationships for accountable parenting. We have relationships for singles that want to work in groups. That's 6 weeks that, we can teach them how to be accountable in love and they're working with other strangers because we truly want to show them how to build equal and healthy relationships. And if you can build equal and healthy relationships in 6 weeks with strangers and work towards common goals and be on the same page, then you can do that with your loved ones. So
well, it'll be similar to our format on Mondays. The only difference will be everyone will be a panelist.
Definitely.
So it will be very similar to what you see on Mondays. So come check us out on Mondays and see if that's something that you're interested in. Because when this is all over and everyone's going on with their regular lives, we are still going to be around. We're still going to be there. And if you want to sign up for those sessions, let us know as well.
Definitely. So, my name is Aziz.
I'm Jerri.
And this is Accountable Love.
Peace.